Okay, folks, a slight change of plans from last time in that I am not going to dive straight into Dr. Osto's research right away. I'm going to hold that off a little bit, but I am going to dive into knowing one's heart because that will let us see some of the enemies in the mines, and we can get a look at what we're going to be dealing with in the new area right off of the bat. Oh, a PNG tuber model coming soon. I should work on setting up things for that because, again, I still have ideas. I just need to actually, like, put things together. And, yeah, yeah. I kind of know what I want to do, and, I mean, sure, I'm not a great artist, but I'm sure I could clean it up a little bit in post. But let's go into this before I get distracted. We gotta go and rescue someone who was on Pioneer 1, apparently. Yeah, please sneak any of that stuff into pins and stuff, because I am bad at digging through anything to find it. Your last name is Person. That's actually not completely bizarre. There are, you know, it does exist. So, it's just that it's literally just spelled like the word person, so it sounds very, like they're brushing Ellie off a little bit here. The most NPC named ever NPC. Yeah, there you go. Ellie Person. Alright, so she met this guy on the interwebs, and now she wants to go meet him. That's... You know, I grew up in a time when you were very distinctly warned against this thing anytime you said that you talked to somebody on the internet. So, not for nothing, I'm just saying that in 2000, this would be a really not smart idea. Oh, she's higher level than us. Cool. Run to A, man. Oh yeah, we should probably talk to these NPCs. Again, try and get a little bit of story background stuff. Do I know what B is? I bet it stings. Sure. Sent through B. Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Okay, so basically it's like a localized intranet except over a very large area of area-ness. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I have a feeling we're not going to like the actual answer. And these people are just a generic NPCs. I'm pretty sure this is just a generic... Yeah. Again, do a quick check over to see if anybody else is... Yeah, these are all the same. Did we talk to these people after we unlocked the mines? I think we did. And that person's just going to tell us about techers. Who cares? We've already had a little encounter with them. And go into, let's go in here. Alright, what do you got for us? Oh, Ellie, could you please not text your boyfriend during our mission? Can you please take this a little bit seriously? I say that like I'm the one who's taking anything seriously, right? Oh, well, that was fast. Oh, geez. Is the reception that bad? Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the one who does most of the damage in this mission. She does have a tier 4... she's got a railgun, which is the name of the tier 4 handgun, despite the fact that... Railgun, that's like, hey, that would be something pretty huge. Mostly, nowadays, when I think of railgun, I think of, like, the ones from I almost said Mega Man. That's real stupid. From Armored Core. Armored Core 3 Plus, and they were shoulder-mounted, like any of your other shoulder-mounted cannons, but they had a long charge time for some reason, I guess to give them a distinct reason to be different from any of the laser guns or the grenade launchers or any of that shit. Armored Core? The Armored Core games are fantastic! I love the Armored Core games a lot. I'm actually super happy about the fact that we are going to be seeing an Armored Core 6 possibly as soon as this year. I mean, on the other hand, it's like, oh, hey, that's more stuff I at some point I'm going to be burning money on, but, you know, that's okay. I'm pretty sure that if he was in danger... Oh, is there new... I was gonna say, is there new dot hack, or are you just saying that you rented that a lot too? Because, yeah, Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. I remember the old dot hack games, and I thought it was really, really cool that they had, actually, again, a very similar mechanic to Armored Core, where you could just import save files from the previous game and use that as a continuing point. So that's cool. Oh, neat. I'm glad that they're keeping up with stuff like that. Although I gotta say, it always feels real bad when somebody has to underline what exactly "don't be a dick" means in the rules. But then again, I say that, and I would actually be more concerned in a lot of cases about how judges would respond as opposed to any of the players doing anything, because, I mean, listen, toxic gamers exist, and that's not going to change readily. Well, that is very good on them. I especially haven't paid a whole lot of attention to anything regarding physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Play, because, unsurprisingly, that's not exactly a thing that I'm currently considering to be on the cards, although, pun not intended. Although that is absolutely going to be, I would love if I could find a place semi-local that did any physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. I would absolutely love to do something like that. The new Gate Guardian support has me in kind of a nostalgia buzz, so that would be... that sounds like fun. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta go back to the plot, because now Ellie's weird boyfriend is telling her that it was a joke, and that apparently it's not as unsafe. Took refuge in an underground mine. Okay, so now he wants to see her. Ah, okay, so he's an internet troll. He really does kind of seem like an internet troll. Oh, that is very good. A solid statement. Man, gotta tell people not to falsify their vaccination records. It is so fucked up that we exist in a society where we have to say that, too. Like, obviously, the core thing that we're talking about, yeah, it's kind of messed up that we gotta remind people, hey, don't be a shithead about gender. But man, oh man, that just reawakened something in me. And also, underscoring streamers in general. Oh boy, there was a lot of shit this. I meant to say something on this sooner, but of course I didn't stream for the past couple of days because I'll be honest with you, I am not 100% confident of where the time went. And yet it still feels like the last week was like a million years long. So I don't know what the deal is there, but oh boy. So I don't know if anybody here follows like any specific VTubers on any real level. I should note that a lot of my information on any of this is secondhand, but the things about Pikami, or however her name is pronounced, I don't personally know for sure, but holy fuck, I dislike a lot of people who are fans of something that I'm not really that aware of now. It's really weird when like something like that happens. It's like you've never heard almost, and I mean, I am so out of the loop when it comes to VTuber related stuff that I pretty much can say that I don't think I've ever heard of this particular VTuber. But it's like, it feels real bad when something that you've never heard of whatsoever and don't have any real opinion on, that you gotta feel that somebody who's a fan of something like that is just immediately sus. Because, let me tell you, I saw some shit on Twitter, and, like, there are some people who just should not be permitted to be in a polite society. We'll put it that way. See an entrance to mine if we... Yeah, we're getting close. So, I mean, that's kind of weighed heavy on my end. I'm in a group of people, and some of them have said some incredibly not great stuff. And, of course, like, it later came out that it was very likely that she was going to graduate before any of the Hogwarts Legacy shit happened, which, you know, hey, it's real great that we're still talking about a franchise by this fucking has-been this fucking long. Excuse me. And, of course, like, a lot of this stuff came out, and none of the people were like, oh, well, all these virtue signalers have said anything about that, of like, oh, well, okay, I misaimed a little bit, I'm sorry. It's really making me feel not safe in a couple of places where I'm with friends, and it's not good. I don't know how to say to people that, hey, maybe we ought to cut this out. And I know that I'm, like, so hot-headed and emotional about it right now that it's gonna turn into a, hey, it's me or them type of thing about it, and I don't want to do that, because I don't know, and, you know, it's just a bad look more than necessarily I think this person is confirmably a bad person, but also... yeah, so, yeah, hey, it's been a real fucking cool week for trans people, hasn't it? And then there's this fucking slimeball, Michael Knowles, speaking at CPAC, and I know, oh yeah, it's CPAC, but the guy... I'm not going to repeat what he said because of a wide variety of reasons, but this absolute piece of fucking waste human garbage, this worthless human being, the language very specifically being used to imply that trans people are either a cult or a disease. And of course, let's never mind the exterminationist rhetoric, which obviously that's bad, but just there are some words that cannot be used in a good context. And he used one of them, that's for sure. And it's also real cool to see that this guy's like, oh, well, you're being libelous whenever any publication, like Rolling Stone, which I feel a little bit strange to be like, oh, hey, Rolling Stone, that bastion of real-world journalism. Oh, I'm dead. I thought I could tank that laser. That's my fault. The lasers, incidentally, deal, like, magic damage. Asterisk. Like, it's a type of fixed damage. I don't know if it's elemental or anything like that, but yeah. Also, they hurt. Especially because we're on hard now. I should probably bone up a little bit here. We'll get back to where we were in a second. So yeah, so this absolute shitburger, Michael Knowles, and he's over there at CPAC, and he's saying a bunch of terrible shit to these people, and of course, there's some people who are like, oh, well, the audience is tiny, it's gonna be amplified by a lot of pundits. Like, Nick Fuentes is already saying shit like that, too. And extending it even further, Nick Fuentes also specified eliminating Judaism, so that's real cool. Nice to see that kind of thing. Obviously, I don't have the same kind of horse in that race, being that I'm not Jewish, but also, hey, wow, everything always goes in the exact same direction, doesn't it? But the thing that gets me, even more than that, even more than the fact that we've been so bad about this idea of making fascists afraid of being fascists in public, that this guy is out here literally saying actual Nazi shit at CPAC, and when somebody reports on it honestly at Rolling Stone, he goes on Twitter and he's like, this headline is libelous, even though it's the same thing. And then they changed it over to use his word, which, okay, cool. I'm glad that you made it, like, just as worse. It's freaking me out a little bit, let's put it that way. And I'm getting so sick of the last 7 years of, oh, hey, conceal your identity, because, of course, I had the misfortune of coming to that sort of realization about myself a couple of months before Donald Trump was elected president. So, yeah. In all, real cool week for a lot of this. Real good. That's not why I didn't stream, though. Sometimes actually streaming is nice because I get to yell about this sort of stuff and, like, hey. It's almost nice being able to yell these things into... What I'm saying is it's almost nice not having an audience, because, you know, not to denigrate anybody who is actually here. I love you all. You are all great, and thank you very much for watching and also for putting up with my shit, because, oh boy. But on the other hand, yeah, a big part of why I didn't stream is because I simply do not have time management skills. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't have time management skills. I'm not good at balancing any of my time for doing anything, and I got caught up in a couple of other things, and this ended up taking a little bit of a backseat. Maybe there was some mental health stuff associated with it, but a lot of that is just the same normal feelings of inadequacy that lead to the kind of paralysis with regard to starting new projects. Oh, now you want us to go... We're this deep into... I'm pretty sure we're like a room and a half away from finishing this quest. Oh boy, that sounds like a mess. That sounds like a mess, Dave. Dave Fury. Saying it that way seems even sillier, but yeah, I didn't know that you were working with children on your days off of your regular job. And I know that your regular job has occasionally been hit and miss, but you did get a pretty nice raise recently, right? So yeah. Ah, the nephews. That makes sense. New cockroach species named after Pheromosa. Neat. I know that there's been a lot of instances of science people just naming things after various nerd stuff. There's been a couple of things that have been named after like Pikachu and Sonic Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog. Don't forget the definite article. Only Eggmans do that. There's a couple other interesting ones. There was an asteroid, of course, named asteroid, comet, big frickin' rock in space. We'll say that as just a genericism. Named after Frank Zappa. Probably due in no small part to the star chart that he had on the back of One Size Fits All, his album from 1975. And there's also, oh my god, I'm trying to remember. Oh, right! I had prepped this as like my first example, and then I immediately forgot it, which tells you about how good my brain does in any situation. Is, rather infamously, the term Thagomizer, which originates from a Far Side comic as being like the pain end of the I almost said Stegosaurus. Holy shit. That's a joke, my friends. You know, the tail thing on the Stegosaurus, that got adopted as like a legitimate scientific term for those weird tail spikes. Oh, brilliant. I know that bug testing and stuff like that is like that for video games, that you're not really going to get everything in one go, but that's gotta hurt, like, every time they come in with a new patch, because they did get a new patch. I haven't downloaded it, which is really sad. I've probably missed out on Walking Wake and the Metal Deer, because I'm dumb, pardon me. I'm dumb. Whatever. I'll get him eventually, I'm sure. Anyway, it's gotta suck, like, just doing stuff like that, and now you're basically playing whack-a-mole with this, with bugs across versions. Oh, hey, big freaking computer. They can't figure out why it's happening yet. Awesome. Oh, wait, so Callus was an AI? Ellie? Ellie, was your boyfriend ChatGPT? Huh. That's... I do want to give a little bit of, like, weird sort of, stuff to this, that I did this quest for this playthrough, like, a couple months ago, on normal. And that was before a lot of the ChatGPT stuff started getting really crazy, so I didn't really think much of this at the time. And I tend to forget this quest, just in general. And now that we're looping back to a period when there's a lot of discussion about the use of ChatGPT and how it can emulate certain things so well, this seems kind of like, kind of funny in a weird way, except also for the part, like, oh, well, Callus is freaking out and feels like he needs to seek an organic body. That's, that's a little bit upsetting on a few levels here. Oh, he's gonna die. Did you bring a floppy disk? More or less got barely half of it correct. I feel like that's an estimation of what proportion of people know a lot of the inner details of that sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway. That was a strange quest that somehow got a lot more interesting and relevant nowadays compared to when I last thought about it. You know, really great sci-fi tends to be really good at predicting or possibly even shaping the future. Like, people think a lot about original series Star Trek because a lot of that technology actually is not terribly dissimilar to things that are becoming real and that. But there's also a lot of other stuff that, like, doesn't get credit for how innovative and forward-thinking it is, and I think in some regard this one actually deserves a little bit of a couple of points just for that. Although, yeah, that find an organic body thing, oh boy, that reminds me, there's actually some quests in this game that legitimately freak me out quite a bit that we will get to. We're probably gonna get to them not today, that's for sure. Because, yeah, I don't think we can quite clear all the quests for the mines area today, even though there's not that many. And of course, we still got like three whole cave quests left to do too. Because I'm doing something in a bit of a strange pattern here to try and make sure that I don't miss out on something. Which will probably not be something that I need to do, but I do want to show it off a little bit for the audience, for anybody here who's just completely new. Looking at hockey jerseys, and they're fucking expensive. I can imagine, like, any kind of sports stuff, especially if you're looking for something licensed, that'll set you right back. Oh boy. 160, jeez, oh man. Woo, boy. For a team that no longer, yikes. So let's move forward in the game here. And Dave, I don't know if you want to keep thinking about that $163 jersey for a team that doesn't exist thing. And we are moving on to a quest called Letter from Lionel. This is an interesting one. As you can probably guess from what's going on here, a letter is asking to rescue all of him. We're literally gonna go and find all of the body parts of an android and rescue him and put him back together. I mean, the putting him back together isn't really a gameplay thing, but that's actually kind of neat. I like that as a framing thing here. Can't move. The Castlevania 2's plot with robots. There you go. I've heard about bees, yeah. Found on the ground. It was explicitly sent to an office and then handed over to us. That's not exactly the same. This is also one of the very few quests in the game that actually, like, really, really wants you to use the quest board to read stuff. can't move. I have no idea where I am now. I'm Lionel, an android hunter. Help me find all of my parts. It's raining heavily. I'm not sure if I'm in a forest. I see ivied walls around me. Am I in the bottom of a well? Central Dome is in front of me and the river. So that's pretty explicit in terms of what we're looking for. Is we need to go to Forest 2, and there's a couple of little chambers that we can go look to find his head. And that is going to be, ow. And finding his head is going to be a major gateway for us to be able to complete the rest of the quest. Because apparently that's where the battery is, which, fair enough. And he can talk to us and tell us, hey, yeah, part of it got swallowed by a dragon. Go kill it so that way it'll poop it out or something. I don't think that's... I don't remember if that's one of them. I don't think we have to kill the dragon for another quest. We do have to kill that big worm, though. And let me tell you, I am a little bit stressed about that because... And, you know, not in like a real-world stress kind of way, just like, oh boy, I hope I don't make a complete ass of myself on stream kind of way. Body has given up on staying awake. Well, have a good rest there, Dave. Get you some sleep and stuff. I don't know what the stuff in this case is, but whatever it is. And hopefully your new, what was it? Assistant manager, pardon me. Hopefully your new assistant manager becomes less of an egg-sucking dog. I can't do it. I can't do that Terry Funk voice at all. Like a Pokemon before it was Pokemon. At the very least, they're giving us some real easy enemy layouts here, so we can fight things just one at a time here. I'm surprised by this point we're not getting big groups of stuff in the forest, because this is pretty deep into the cave quest line, so I would kind of imagine them giving us, like, formations of, like, 5 dudes at once by now. Unsurprisingly, by the way, groups tend to be larger if you're playing online as opposed to offline. And they give more experience, but they have higher stats as well. It's not adjusted for a number of players online, so there's just offline and online enemies, which, you know, even back then, I think they could probably have done... But then again, maybe they, like, refreshing the stats on the fly would be kind of a pain in the balls, but I don't know. New OCG lists of whatever Ultimate Offerings remake is. Oh boy. Oh, I remember playing around with Ultimate Offering. What a card. What a deeply, unbelievably unbalanced card. I'm kind of surprised that ever got past testing. Like, there's some things where, you know, the balance is a little bit wonky, and that is to be expected a little bit, but on the other hand, oh boy. You see that, and you're just like, you're serious right now, aren't you? Speaking of, like, classic cards and remakes and stuff that references back to it. Oh, Jesus, that's kind of incredible, actually. Wow. So, yeah, classic cards that there are quite a few, like, old cards that I want to see get referenced back to things. One that I would love to see as just, like, I'm surprised that this was nothing that was ever done with it from a flavor perspective, as far as I know. Reaper of the Cards. And this is in the opposite direction, obviously, from, like, okay, instead of rebuilding old busted shit into things that are less gross, take something old and give it, like, a new flavor. Like, they did something kind of similar with Flame Swordsman. Where there's a card which is, like, Blue Flame Swordsman or something, and it's a level 4, well, regular monster in that you can summon it the regular way. Oh, there you go. Or even just, like, I'd like to see another monster that's, like, well... Well, yeah. Hell, make it a level 4 and have it do something kind of silly. I mean, like a one-off Eat Traps could be a legitimately useful sort of tech thing, because I know that there are flip monsters that are usable right now. Like, they're not as completely dead weight as you would think. I don't think, but yeah, just something that blows up all face-up trap cards in the field, or lets you look at their face downs and, you know, mauls the trap cards out of that. Something like that. There are options, and of course I need to fit in the usual asterisk of, hey, if any of these sound like they really shouldn't make it to print, I'm not a game designer. Although, goodness knows, maybe I should, you know, maybe I should see if I can, like, actually put something together in that regard. Although, I mean, how many shitty MTG clones does the world need? Because, unfortunately, that's probably about the extent of where any of my card game design as a rules set would end up. Just by virtue of I would immediately get stuck into a framework that I already know. Yeah, see, and then you have... You basically have it doing double duty in a way. That... Like, it's two archetypes, kind of. Well, archetypes, air quotes. You know, two series, I guess. Two references. See, when you mentioned Digimon Frontier, I had a moment of like, wait, is that a game that I missed out on? No, it's one of the anime. I'm a fool. It's because I was thinking of Sonic Frontiers, which I started playing recently. I need to get back to that. I played it for like an hour or something, and I put it down. Yeah, I'm using the term series in a very widespread... Again, we're saying that it's based off of Reaper of the Cards as our base idea here. I'm just... I don't know, I feel like just saying reference seems a little bit non-specific or something. Anyway, yeah, Sonic Frontiers, I played like an hour of it, then I put it down. Sonic Frontiers is an absolutely daunting looking game. Like, there is so much stuff going on. And again, as I said before, I don't 100% know why it needs a lot of these mechanics that it does. It doesn't really need the open world thing. I don't know that it needs the RPG elements. Although, the actual levels where you're running around, they're short so far that I've played, but they're fun. And points go there. So, yes. Like, the other thing is that I'm even worse about the open world thing because I am, spoiler alert, I'm scripting a video for a Sonic 06 review. I gotta finish that. I'm doing decently on it. I just need to actually get that all done. Thankfully, I don't have to go record more footage. Although, I do want to go and record a couple more loading screens, which sounds real stupid, but I have a whole bit in the video where I talk about how infamous the loading is, and for good reason. And thinking about what was, to me, always sort of the iconic childhood, ungodly amount of loading time game, which was Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. And I have a copy of Wrath of Cortex. I have the old Black Label one, and I've got an old fat PS2. Not an OG. I actually used to have a launch PS2, but it died at some point. And I took it down to a guy who ran a game shop down in the town where I lived that existed several years ago. And unfortunately closed up shop about 8 years ago. So I probably took that to him somewhere between 9 and 10 years ago. And he's like, unfortunately, there's not really much you can do about this. And it's a shame because I would have loved to have preserved it. And he just like, you know, I can dispose of that for you. I'm like, okay. And clearly I should have kept it and I should have been like, okay, art installation time, baby. But I was not thinking in a clever way whatsoever. Can we land some life drain here? Yes. Unfortunately, we just lost it all again. That was not as clever as I thought it was. But yeah, I gotta go and I'm gonna grab a couple more, I guess, just to make sure that I have a few sectioned out for some reason. But regardless, I do need to get footage of the loading screens for Wrath of Cortex and be like, hey, yeah, how slow does it load compared to this horrifying piece of shit that I remember from my childhood? And we're gonna find out if it's faster or slower. Just because I was curious while I was writing the script, and my content is inherently self-indulgent, and damn it, I'm gonna be the most self-indulgent that I can, pretty much. So once that is done, yeah, but of course, playing Sonic 06, it's like, oh hey, this overworld that is even more useless than most Sonic overworlds. And I'm just sort of like, hey, is this a bad concept overall? And I'm pretty sure it is. And then in Frontiers, like, they do give you things to do, but on the other hand, it's just so padded and big, and there's nothing going on. And if you thought that it took too long wandering between the points in Sonic 06, then it's even worse in Sonic Frontiers. And it kind of amazes me that I can look at Sonic Frontiers and be like, hey, Sonic 06 technically did something better than you. And yet here we are. Oh yeah, I guess there is also Sonic's voice in Sonic Frontiers, which, like, I don't know why he sounds like he's comparatively smoking 6.5 packs a day compared to regular Sonic. I might have been a changed voice actor or something, but still, that's some questionable direction if ever there was any. Yeah, actually, in particular, the overall comparison I would make is that it reminds me of, if you've ever seen Bender's Big Score, which is the first Futurama movie. Well, I'm going to spoil a story for anybody here who hasn't, so if you haven't, stick your fingers in your ears and pretend you don't hear. But it's like it's over 10 years old now. If you wanted to see it, you probably would have, or you've just discovered the Futurama franchise in general. So there's a character in it named Lars. And Lars is basically Fry from 10 years or so. Actually, maybe it's more like 20 years. I don't remember the exact time frame from the future of his time point. And then he freezes himself and goes forward in time. And, you know, in order to win Leela's heart, because he becomes a lot cooler, but that's after he almost gets murdered by Bender. And gets his larynx crushed, so his voice drops like 8 million octaves. And basically the tone shift is like regular Sonic from all the other 3D games that I've played up to that point is Fry, and then that's Lars. And it's kind of off-putting considering they still look exactly like Sonic, and yeah. So about Zelda game overworlds, yeah. The 2D Zelda games were absolutely very chock full of things. Oh, hey, dude. We'll talk to that guy in a second. And OOT had a lot of empty space. Majora's Mask is much better at using its overworld. That is correct. Majora's Mask is flat out a better game. That's all I'm going to say on the matter, and I'm sure that somebody will be a little bit upset at me for that. It's very odd for you to ask me that, random dude, but okay. Found something very special. You'll sell it secretly in the city. I have a bad feeling about that kind of thing. Quite valuable on the black market. I really have questions, my friend. Twilight Princess. I have not touched Twilight Princess in over 10 years. And I never even finished it. I probably should go back to that at some point and be like, hey, yeah, let me go beat City in the Sky and beat... get stepped on by the princess, beat Zant or whatever his name is. Zant, I don't remember. And then go kill the Ganondorf, who is obviously behind everything. But I definitely remember a lot of times in Twilight Princess where I was just going for a long time between points, not doing anything. Yeah, Majora's Mask. I will say this, Majora's Mask. Oh boy, actually, can I find a good way to say this that doesn't make me sound like a pretentious asshole? Because, like, I feel like any way I say it of like, oh, well, it's not for dabblers, or oh, it's not for newcomers to the franchise, or oh, it takes a while to get used to, but eventually you'll find that you like it. Kind of just makes me sound like a bit of a Zelda hipster, which is weird out of all the games to make that have you feel like. Hey, we found an android's head. Gee, I wonder if that's important. And yeah, that is basically... Oh, dude, don't apologize for getting attacked by a guy with a wrench and disassembled. We're in sleep mode as your energy level is very low. I have a feeling that this answer is going to make him upsetty. Let's just ask where's your body. Good question! That's a good question, Mega Man. A strange monster attacked you and you were heavily damaged. Managed to escape. It got worse after that. You dropped your legs and an arm. Then you lost your torso. Alright. We can do that for you, dude. Sensors in your missing body parts still working. Roughly detect their locations. Right and left legs, right arm, and my body with the left arm. 4 parts in total. Absolutely, we can do that. Signal from your right arm. In something soft and some liquid. Sometimes you feel a burning sensation. Okay, so you might see that and think lava, right? Because burning sensation, liquid, inherently it would probably be like a semi-solid, so you might think soft and squishy. But I'm pretty sure that if his arm was just like hanging out of a lava river in the caves, it would probably melt. So instead, what you're looking for is it's in a stomach. And not a dragon stomach. It's in the stomach of a Hildebear, which is in an area that we haven't gone to on this map yet. Getting back to the Zelda thing, before I forget. Wind Waker is interesting because Wind Waker is full of things that are inconsequential. Like, I don't want to say it's full of nothing, because that seems a little bit mean. But there is a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff where you can just go into... You can spend a lot of time hauling up the treasures from the treasure maps, and a bunch of them are just money. On the other hand, there are also quite a few things to do, and sure, some of them are repetitive, like the big octos and such like that. But there's plenty of little mini dungeons and stuff to check out. It would be good if the world was a little bit tighter in terms of size constraint and everything. And if there weren't so many just complete dud spots, I think. I mean, sure, have a few. Even a lot of the other ones do, but I don't know how many 200 rupee chests are necessary to pick up out of the ocean. I haven't played Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks. In fact, I don't think I've played any 2D Zelda games that are newer than Link's Awakening DX. I might be wrong about that. Actually, I should say I did play a little bit of Minish Cap, and I was not sold on Minish Cap. Excuse me. Oh, right. I forgot about the Oracle games. Did I play any... I played a little bit of Oracle of Ages. Unfortunately, I was very young and I was not very puzzle smart, so when I played Oracle of Ages, I didn't really understand what I was doing, and I put it down, and I didn't finish it. Alright, so what's up with the right arm? Oh, somebody's speaker is glitching out a little bit. Both your legs are in water. What is... Air. Left leg is in cold underground air. Open air, not the underground. Yeah, buddy, we understand. I assume that, like, his vocal system is really just a cheap little headphone speaker, basically. Yeah, I feel like the Oracle games were pretty good, but I didn't really get to play a whole lot of them because, like I said, I was a dumb kid and I couldn't really make a ton of sense of Oracle of Ages. And A, it was a rental, so I wasn't going to go buy a player's guide for it. And B, I just didn't feel like going on game FAQs at the time or something, I guess. Okay, so if we keep going forward here, I mean, we can go get his... We can go get his other leg. We may as well do this and then go back to the really easy one, because, hey, why give up that sweet, sweet photon blast charge? That's right, so that way we can get our 10-second buffs again. And we can see our old friends, the evil sharks. So yeah, Twilight Princess is the newest 3D Zelda game that I've played. I haven't played Skyward Sword. I didn't have a Wii that I had, like... My Wii isn't even really set up in a great position, especially not to do motion control stuff. So... I need to... I'm just not a fan of motion controls in general. Skyward Sword definitely is one of those ones that's a little bit hit and miss with a lot of people. And I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, but I keep thinking about it. It was on sale for reasonably cheap sometime in December. And by reasonably cheap, I mean like 40 bucks, I think, for a new copy. Actually, no, 30, pardon me, $30 for a new copy at Target of all places. Which kind of surprises me, but also I just kind of look at it like, oh, 40 bucks for another open world game. And I have like serious open world fatigue. And I'm not so devoted to the Zelda franchise to begin with that I'm likely to look the other way on that one. So looking at that, I was like, I'm still not sure if that's worth it. Of course, the sale ended several months ago, so if I change my mind, we're gonna be paying the high prices again. But we'll see how that goes. How I feel about it. Tears of the Kingdom is coming out soon. That is following on from Breath of the Wild in a fairly direct manner, if I recall correctly. And I know a lot of people are hype about it. I don't have the same level of hype. I'm sorry, but I still hope it's good. Right now, though, as far as games that are coming out for the foreseeable future, there are currently 4 that are of great interest to me. The first one, in terms of projected release date, I believe, the first one would be Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. I have pre-ordered that. That's coming out on the 13th of April. I think it's the 13th of April. It's around that time. So, Homestuck Day. Make your jokes. But also, more importantly, that's just going to be a huge nostalgia bomb for me because those games were a big part of my early teenage years. And I forgot that wouldn't let me pick that up. Well, have a look at Crazy Echo the Dolphin, everybody. That was dumb of me. So anybody who's looking forward to a really weird mistake, there you go. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Number 2 in that list, in terms of release order, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Yes, it is actually real, which kind of surprised me. It's going to be out supposedly on April 21st, I believe. Which I did a video about that recently, which I will hawk at the end of the stream. We're not there yet. Not by a wide margin. And there's something very strange about the fact that it's coming out, basically. And it was actually finished way back when they delayed it, and somebody did have access to it for a brief period, but I don't know how similar it's going to be. I would like to hope that they are considering adding in content from Dual Strike and stuff like that as DLC at bare minimum. I would love to be able to check that out on... to have all that in one place, basically. And it'll be interesting. I'm curious if it'll be broken up into the 2 individual games, kind of like the way Legacy Collections for the Mega Man series are. or if we'll have just a unified multiplayer environment where you can be like, okay, we're going to have a field and it will contain both Advance Wars 1 and Advance Wars 2 Sturm, for example, or AW1 and AW2 Grit, which, why would you play AW1 Grit when AW2 Grit is one of the most busted motherfuckers in the entire series? Which is really saying something because, oh boy, Advance Wars has a lot of incredibly broken playable characters. Oh, I'm surprised that we dodged that. But thank goodness we did. That probably would have killed us. Number 3 in that list of 4 games is Risk of Rain Returns. I'm assuming that that's going to be like... for some reason, mentally, I'm just like, oh, that's going to be July or something. Or maybe June. But regardless, yes. Even though Hoppu Games is owned by Gearbox, and even though Gearbox has the rights to the franchise now, I'm led to understand that that is Hoppu Games' last hurrah, basically, as the Risk of Rain developers. So it will actually be handled by not scumbag Randy Pitchford. So that's cool. Seriously, Randy Pitchford can go eat shit. Anyway, Risk of Rain Returns is mostly just looking to be a remake with additional content, probably some rebalancing of Risk of Rain 1. And I loved Risk of Rain 1. Risk of Rain 2 is a better game and better balanced, but still, great game, great fun. Looking forward to that quite a bit. And the last one on the list, of course, is Armored Core 6. I'm expecting that that will be late in the year at best, if it's not pushed back to 2024, because it's a FromSoft game, and it looks like something that would take forever to make. We'll put it that way. It's not exactly the most scientific method of determining how long it would take to... Ow, that was stupid. But we lived. It's not a scientific method of determining how long it'll take for a game to actually come out, but on the other hand, I'm gonna pretend that it served me well. Alright, what do we got? Are we going all the way to the back of the room just to spawn these... the junk mobs that are sure to be in here? Oh, hello, boys. Glad you decided to show up right when I was in melee range. So that way you could reverse spawn camp me while I'm at almost no HP. It's okay. We're gonna be able to fight these off decently. Listen, we're already at low enough HP that any hit will kill us. So why not spend what little we have left? Oh, nice. Hilarious timing on that level up, so that way we just waste most of the HP that we recover. And I do mean most. We definitely burned through, like, more than half of that meter. That was pretty funny. Thanks, game. I almost forgot about gaining levels. Oh, snap. That means that we can equip that armor that we bought at, like, the beginning of this stream series, which was, what, a King's Frame, I think? Either way, it'll give us some more defense, which will be nice. Eat dirt, buddy. Actually, I got a feeling that I'm probably about to eat some dirt pretty soon here. Ah! Animation lock. Couldn't rotate very fast. Thankfully, I managed to get away from it. Oh. Oh, thank you for not shooting. Yeah, that was going to be one of the homing shots. That was going to be... We're dead. It's not really game over because... game overs don't really exist in this. Can you imagine if somebody made, like a permadeath hack for this sort of thing? Like, just true roguelike hack. That would be absolutely disgusting. It would make me so nervous. And to be honest, I would probably love it. But also, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That would be... that would be what they call a really something. What that something is, I don't know, but hey. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be in that direction because of all the press traps. But, ooh, healing ring. That's nice. There we go. That'll give us a little bit of insurance against those things, because otherwise, goodness knows I'm going to do something stupid to myself. There's a Marv Halbert there. We've got force switch door. By the way, I never got to mention it, but if you play online, for those, well, multiplayer in general, really, but online is probably going to be where you play most of your multiplayer in this game for obvious reasons. If there's something that requires multiple switches to be hit, you will need a player at every one of the switches. And they'll basically be like pressure pads until you activate whatever it is that you're activating. So there are some areas that you can only go into with a party of 4, basically. Which is an interesting idea, I guess? Question mark. Alright, we got one of these guys, because of course we do. At the very least, we're looking at the middle of the room dude here, and yes. Nice and easy. Heck. Oh, don't you start trying to do the ball bull charge at me. Or Mask X, as he prefers to be called in arm wrestling. Is that better than anything I have? The answer is probably going to be no, but pick it up anyway and peep real quick. Oh, yeah, actually, that's... I can chuck out... I still have a Night Power ++. That gives me, so I get +4 power from that drop, I think. That's pretty good. Also, yeah, I'd like to apologize about how long this mission is. It's pretty long, but also I kind of forgot in some ways because I was just like, oh, it's a caves mission. Of course it's tedious as shit. So mentally I don't have Rushafel painting. That's a good username. Yeah. Arm wrestling. I want to give a quick shout out to somebody who I haven't seen in a while, Jackamus Wedge, who introduced me to arm wrestling many years ago. I saw that on stream and I was like, hey, that's pretty neat. I didn't know about that. And yeah. So that one's been kind of stuck with me for a while. It's a pretty cool game for... I forget exactly when it came out, but late 80s. Oh, our bag is full. Also, yeah, speaking of game references, so is Rushafel in this case a reference to the translation in... Oh man, I can't remember the Game Boy Demon's Crest spin-off. Gargoyle's Quest. There we go. Because yeah, in that version, in the English version of that game, they translated Lucifer as Rushafel, which, you know, Nintendo back then. That's all I gotta say on the matter, right? They're not gonna let you say Lucifer in an English language game back then. Our bag is... Yeah, so we should... I should probably go back, empty some of my junk. Ghouls and Ghosts as well. Okay, well, yeah, apologies for my not being super knowledgeable in that area, but I do remember Gargoyle's Quest. Again, another one that somebody introduced me to, and just weird things that have stuck with me, you know? But hey, cool! Oh, don't sell that. I actually want to keep that. The rest of this stuff can go, because this is just worth money. Some of it a lot less than the rest, but... Okay, so we can equip that thing. Yeah, so we get an additional 4 attack power there. Which is pretty nice, you know. I'm not gonna complain. What's our 445. I think we're still 30 off from being able to equip that rare slicer that we got recently. Yeah, it's 475, so it'll be a minute before we can use that, but that's all right. Oh yeah, I forgot I stored a psychic barrier too. How's our defense looking so far? 193 with all of our equipment. That's not terrible, actually. Sell those. And now back into the caves we go. Oh yeah, we didn't actually go downstairs yet. Oops. Eh, well. That's an easy fix. And nothing of huge note in those drops. But you can see there is Lionel's leg that we have to go pick up. So we're actually, like, finally getting somewhere with this quest. I know, it's been quite a long one. Which I already said. But hey, soon we'll be able to get back to the actual new content that we've gained access to. If we can bunch all these fellows up, I think we can... Oh, don't start splitting, guys. Come on. Gang up on me. If they grouped a little better, I think we could probably actually hit all of them with that glaive, but I could be wrong. And of course, they're just not going to do it for us, so we'll just... We'll go back to the easier method. Easier method that did turn out to be the faster one. Here I thought, oh hey, just fight them all at once, it'll be faster. Nope, not so much. Oh, I see, we got like a mini maze thing here. Okay. So yeah, some of the buttons are fake as well. You can tell that I really did not internalize this room layout. Because it's a very weird one. That's fake button. That one will be real. And the one that we're looking for is right here as our last real button. Nice aim, me. We didn't have to kill those things to get the robot leg, but that's okay. And in fact, I'm actually just going to leave that cache on the ground. Normally, I would suck all of that up, but meh, it's not that much. Oh yeah, everything's gonna be open already. Whoops. I don't know why I'm looking around like this. Clearly, it's just been that long of a mission. I think we went off on a bunch of extra side paths in the caves. Like an unusual amount by my standards. And there we go. Legs collected. Check our quest board here. Parts of my old friends. Only one body part is left. Feel like it's moving. Well, that's not terribly descriptive. But I know where it is. And if you remember earlier on in the quest, you probably can take a guess yourself that a certain black market guy has it. And we can find him back on the ship. Over near the regular markets, I believe. Do we have to do some... Do we have to do things in a special order or something? Do they want us to telepipe in and out? Or do I have to talk to the... Oh no, there he is. I just didn't see him before. He blended in real well. Android parts! Meanwhile, I'm just sort of imagining that, like, he's got Lionel's torso with the arm in his pack or something, and the arm is just sticking out waving. Like, hey! Suddenly he freaks out now that we've said what we're looking for. And congratulations. You... No, that's a person we've talked to before. But look at this golden, glorious fellow. That's Lionel. Not looking too bad, all considered. For having had a part of him stuck in something's stomach, 2 parts hanging out in the river, and goodness knows where the torso was. Alright, you got anything else to say to us? Just thanks. Alright. 7,000. Yeah, pretty big reward, but of course that was a long quest, so you'd probably expect to get a lot out of that. I guess it would probably be a smart idea for me to store that. Not time to feed the mag again yet. Darn. Deposit our cash, and we've got more quest board to do, folks. Not a ton more. I think we've only got like 4, maybe 5 more quests before we're done until we beat the mines. But we're going to start in on Dr. Osto's research. This is one where I could conceivably screw something up for myself in the future. So we're going to try not to do that. These 3 dudes want to see some research notes from a Dr. Osto who was on the Pioneer 1. I don't really think that we get access to that kind of stuff here. Strange mechanical enemies appeared in No Man's Mines. This is interesting because this is one of the very, very few location names that are actually dropped in this game on any level that goes deeper than just, you know, Regal or you're on the Pioneer 2 or whatever. is that it's pretty much just Central Dome and the No Man's Mines. And then you have environment names for the levels that you actually go into. Very interesting. At least until episode 2, where they add in some more stuff. But not for any of the areas that we had been in at the time, so... Alright, so is that disc going to help us back things up and access data? There's work in electricity and genetics. With 2 pretty big fields. Dr. Montague. We've heard Dr. Montague, yeah. We haven't actually crossed paths with Dr. Montague yet, but we've heard him mentioned before. He's going to be pretty important to us in not too distant future. Dr. Osto was sent by the council. And I guess that's about it. Data regarding Dr. So was deleted from Pioneer 2. Huh. That's interesting. Have we got a whole lot of NPCs? Oh, we got the military man here. Oh yeah, we have seen him before, haven't we? Talked to you before? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so those NPCs are just the generic town ones. Hey, Doc. What's up? Where's Eleanor? You haven't finished your meetings yet. Or patterns for... So you're not going to take us to do weapon trades yet? It's a damn shame. I actually have things I could do with... I have some parts I could give to him. And that's just security disc. Alright. And we got more of these fellas. We're close enough to hear them make the crunchy, crunchy noises when we knock them over. They really do just kind of make pardon me, they kind of make a sound like a box full of old tin cans. I love it. Got that spot over here. Ah, we got a couple of Canadians here. There's something very interesting, by the way, about this enemy, the Canadian, Canadine. You can see they've got 2 attack patterns. We've got the one that's coming in for the melee attack, and we've got the ranged one, which... These ranged ones are kind of a pain in the butt if you're a melee character, because you can't reach them. The attack pattern is fixed when they spawn in, so anytime you encounter a spawn that gives you a Canadine that uses a ranged attack, it will always spawn that when you refresh the quest, or if you get the same area layout for the area. That attack unit is not going to give us any bonus, by the way, so that's why I'm ignoring it. So that's kind of interesting. It's something that is put to use in one very specific quest in the online mode, and otherwise you probably wouldn't pay much mind to it normally, but in the quest towards the future, I believe it is actually. Let me not underrepresent it here. There's a room that spawns in a bunch of them, and only one of them has the ranged attack pattern, and that's the only thing you have to kill in there. Okay, so I'm going to take out the saber, because I think we fight this dude starting up close. And this is our first time fighting, like, another hunter. And we may not get to actually show it off here, but they are invincible for an absurdly long time. Like, look, my bullets are going straight past this guy's hitbox for that long after you land the first hit. And of course, they can eat healing items. So those fights can be incredibly annoying, and on low levels, they're actually quite difficult sometimes because they hit hard, but they don't seem to scale up super well between difficulties. Ooh, defense material, hell yeah. So, when I first got to this quest, actually there's an earlier quest where you can fight hunters. You can fight them in Secret Delivery, I believe it is. And I ended up taking all of those fights when I was on normal. I'm pretty sure I very nearly died to several of those fights. It was actually kind of annoying. Not so much like, oh, that's really embarrassing that I died. It's just irritating because the fights suck to take. Turns out you can skip them, though. Who knew? Answer, a lot of people, actually. But I digress. But you can see that one was not too hard because we are better armed now. We're at, and by a wide margin, too, compared to where we were on normal. We actually have, like, some of the rare weapons now. I mean, we've got, sure, they're not exactly super great, but hey, they hit pretty hard. But also, that's a good reason why you don't want to use, like, the M&A-60 Vice or other machine guns on them, because they'll just take one hit and then completely ignore the rest. Ooh, a breaker. We can't use that, but I'll pick it up as a means of showing it off. This is the level 3 broadsword. So we'd be able to equip that if we were a hunter instead of a ranger, but not so much. Get up to 3 normal summons / sets during the main phases, or an immediate one during your opponent's battle phase. That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. That is good. Is that just a one-off thing, or is that you pay life for it? Ooh, these enemies. I'm gonna shut up. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Good work, shotgun. So, those enemies, dub chicks, they are kind of like zombies a little bit, in that if you put them down, if you deplete their HP meter, they will come back. And they can do that multiple times. Main phases, 1,000 during your turn, or 500 during your opponent's turn. Nice. But yeah, those particular monsters, if you don't blow up the switch thing that we only just got a glimpse of, they will just keep reviving. I think you have to kill them like 4 or 5 times in order to completely kill them if you don't do that. I'll probably demo that next time we see one, because we see an instance of, like, just one. Oh, hey, here's the default Uniworld model. We're already in the mine, but okay. Sue, you seem a little bit jittery. And to be fair, I don't really blame you, considering how this place is. And by this place, I mean the entire world, really. We've only been in this underground one time, at least in this time loop. Zoinks. Their lightning bolts can inflict... Ow. Yeah, these guys' lightning bolts can inflict shock, which, again, androids aren't immune to, and, oh, I feel real stupid. I burned one of my of my soul atomizers earlier on mag feeding by accident. I hope we can get another one of those back because I'm really going to want a set of 10 for those for an upcoming boss. And by an upcoming boss, I mean the boss of the mine area, not when we go fight the worm again, because, again, we're going to be doing that pretty soon. Anything else to do here? We didn't miss any drops. No. Alright, time to go into the door. And by into the door, I mean over to the locked door. And... yeah, she's got the same thing that Bernie did in Grand Squall. So... you know, she's got the knack, as it were. But yeah, I see that... oh, that floating thing up there that I just blew up. That is the switch that I was referring to earlier for those enemies to just nuke them out of existence. Down here. There we go. Ooh, a general shield. I think that's level 43 gear. Or is that level 55? Yeah, level 43. It's the general armor that is level 55. It's a bit of a long story. Also, we don't really know. And also silent protagonist, so, yeah. We don't answer to nobody. We barely answer to ourselves, even. Well, the Sinnoh beat is going to stay up close for long enough for us to actually just kind of wail on it with a sword. That's great. That's a little bit more DPS. If I wanted to go all out, I would take out the Vice, but I do want to be a little bit careful with my HP. So we're not going to go into full-on burn ourselves to death mode here. Alright. So... again, let me see how well I can show this off. Where's our... there we go. And yeah, you can see the one that we killed is taking a long time to get up. Alright, it's died twice so far. I think it's 3 times we killed it. No, that'll be... oh, no, that's... there's our third kill. Let's see from how long it took for that thing to get up. And there we go. 4 kills on that thing in order for it to stick. And remember that because these fights are orchestrated in such a way That it's like they're basically the defense units for the main sort of nucleus over there. That those individual dub chicks are worth absolutely fuck and all for experience. So trying to kill them through just regular HP depletion and not getting rid of the main target is the biggest waste of time you could possibly engage in this game, I'm pretty sure. Just absolutely pointless activity. Saying that, I believe there is a single location later in the game where you actually have, and by later in the game, I mean on a complete sidetrack. I guess depending on what order you tackle the content in, maybe it is. In challenge mode. There we go. My memory was playing tricks on me, I guess. I believe there is an instance in one of the challenge mode maps where they set it up so that way you effectively have to kill it that way. Or at least that is what they very much want you to do. I'm pretty sure you can just cheese past it some way. There are so many skips and clips and stuff that people have found for doing things like that. It almost kind of makes me want to go back into the Athenia Discord and see if I can actually, like, compile some of that stuff and learn some of the tricks. But on the other hand, I don't know. A lot of that also kind of, like, sucks a lot of the fun out of the game. Plus, that's a community that's been around for so long that, like, everybody had all their top-level gear for, you know, like, Dark Flow and shit like that. And it kind of... I'm not gonna lie, that didn't really encourage me to get too much into things because I was just so far behind that I didn't feel like a lot of people would be interested in helping me out. And also, as I said before, the way my equipment was set up at the time gave me horrible cramps to play it, and I didn't want to do it with a controller, and I didn't really know how to set anything else up to make it, like, not suck to play. I might give it a shot someday again, but we'll see. We'll see. Hey, you got anything to say to us? You got a lot of ellipses and exclamation marks, my dude. Ow. Well, somebody's a no fun allowed robot. Nope. We are absolutely gooning it up a little bit here. Oh, we got a hit in. At least we're going to gain some experience from that fight. By the way, I do like that they gave a fair number of these NPCs, like, actual rare weapons as their things to be, that they're equipped with. Like, Sue is just using the budget maze claw, which I think is really cool. Ow. Oh, thank you. She has... Oh, hey, we got our soul atomizer back earlier. Nice. I could actually probably just throw another one down the well and get us a little bit more attack experience. At a cost of absolutely nothing. Okay, open the purple fence. Pick that back up. And away we go. If we're able... This is going to say, can we find the note on the ground? The invisible note that just says, hey, this is the room of Dr. Hyle Osto, his laboratory, his laboratory here in the mines. There we go here. Biotechnology R&D lead researcher. Interesting. That seems like a little bit stronger than what we were told on the Pioneer 2, but who am I to say anything for sure? Check the side computer here. Seems to be broken. Oh, well, let's check the other one then. Main computer access denied. Well, let's insert our hacking CD. Subcomputer accessed. Hit one item. Code required. Yeah, let's use the disk. Facility data. Beta 772 process. Huh, that merits more investigation. Excavation notes. Oh, that sounds important. Beta 772 overrun date. Oh, that sounds real big. Data transfer done. Not to be racist, but I am an android. Searching for Dr. Osto's report. Yeah, I seem to have found it. You can have a copy of my homework. We should probably have a look at these notes, though. I have a feeling this is going to be some... Oh. Contains some data. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot, game. We can't view that in this quest. Well, let's get the hell out of here. And see if you can find any other records. Well, alright. Yeah? I don't know your name. Will you tell me? Do not tell her. Also, note that long pause there. There was no extra input. Don't mash A through this. Otherwise, you'll end up accidentally telling her your name, and you could be locked out of the Soul Eater quest. So we're going to say, no, I'm sorry. You think it's an appropriate choice? Well, alright. She's taking it in stride, so credit where credit is due. We do have one last thing to do before we are done with this quest. And that... Let me make sure there's nobody else. We need to go back and we need to investigate that yellow arrow again. We need to go talk to that dude that we've seen before. Otherwise, the side quest will not proceed. Why is this door open? Are you keeping the door open, sir? Better forget about what I saw today. Do you have anything else to say? Are you going to tell me I'm going to get hurt if I get too involved? No. That ain't him. That ain't his style. Let's get out of here. Oh, don't get stuck on that. Pick that up. Evil counterpart to the Green Arrow. Just like how the Green Lantern can't do shit about the color yellow. Which is really amusing to me. Because, like, on paper, that sounds like such a dumb weakness for the Green Lantern. But it's like, okay, it actually kind of works, and considering that the Green Lantern is incredibly busted power-wise in a lot of ways, why not give him a weenie-ass sounding weakness, right? Oh, we're actually going to keep that psychic barrier. That's better than the one we have. We lose 1 point of evasion and we gain 2 points of defense. As I've said before, EVP is kind of a dump stat, so getting something with a higher defense instead is great. Because honestly, we're not getting knocked over a whole ton anyway. Oh, that wasn't intentional at all? Well, okay. Fair enough. I mean, I know who the Green Arrow is. It's not like I'm like, oh, who's the Green Arrow? I mean, I may do that as a joke, but I've read a couple of comic books. One or two, anyway. Most of my comic book related knowledge, honestly, is just playing that Spider-Man game for the PS1. Y'all remember the Spider-Man game on PS1? That game was pretty good. I haven't played it in a minute, though. I'm pretty sure I've got a copy. I should just hook up my PS2 to my TV or something and just play that, because, man, I missed that one. Haven't played it in a while. Yeah, you've got nothing else to say about Dr. Montague? You have anything new? No. No, you don't. Well, piss. I was hoping you'd be able to let me you'd take me for a ride. Saw strange men. I think you're overreacting. I think it's just other dudes who are here, searching for Dr. Osto's data, my man. Well, I hope we find out some things that are not as terrifying as that Beta 772 overrun sounds. You'll be able to find out some of what happened on Wriggle, that's for sure. I'm actually going to take 20 seconds here, and I'm going to go and pop a guide open real quick to double check something as regards that thing I was trying to do. Trognor has sorted. Game over. Nice. Wins because he wins. Fantastic. Okay, so it looks like for us to do that, we have to do either Unsealed Door or Doc's Secret Plan, which is not a quest that we have unlocked yet. But hey, we're gonna go and carry on to Unsealed Door. There it is. We've unlocked Dr. Osto's report. I want to see what he uncovered. See sample beta 772 mentioned in Dr. Osto's records. Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Also, take note of that difficulty moderate phrase that I don't think is something that crops up in any other quest description. I don't know why it's there, but yeah, that is a fair warning that this is going to be a potentially very hard quest. Because, spoiler alert, Beta 772 is the cave boss, Derelay. We fought that thing before. It killed us. It was a good thing we had an escape doll. We will try to not die this time, I guess. I don't really remember you exactly, Mome, but I remember you were there. We know what he was studying now. Oh yeah, custom game overs as a thing for Zelda 2. That's pretty fun. I appreciate that as a thing. Animals. You want to see it? Oh, sir, I don't think you're prepared for that. Lost control over it and escape over ground. There's a possibility it's still alive. Find it. Well, he's giving us the notes at least, so that's cool. And check his computer. Okay, so we're going to the point of the last quest. He's at level 37. That's actually kind of commendable considering where we're at. When you do this quest in normal, he's at level 12. I think they expect me to be a higher level than I am right now. Level 39 might be a little bit low. But I'm getting away with it up to this point. It's too arrogant. Creating a new life form is dangerous. It's official. I suck. Nice. Carrying on. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Alright, we'll take a look at those notes in a second. I'm gonna go grab the monster parts, and I'm gonna go see if Dr. Montague is gonna be a little bit more useful to us. Look, I know he's not exactly tall, but that's actually, he is pretty tall, but a large part of that is tied up in Dr. Montague's gigantic platform boots. Most out there looking scientist you've ever seen. Oh, is the grass assassin arm the only one we have? Well, you know what? We can do that anyway. And I can look at it and be like, oh shit, they won't let me equip it. What do you got to say, buddy? Oh, you've got the same thing. Well, damn. I am going to have to come back after we complete the entire quest tree in order to be able to do that. Because otherwise I would have had to have waited until I beat the ruins. Or until I gained access to the ruins, pardon me, which is the last level. And I'm not going to just sit on my thumbs through like half of the quest tree, you know. Oh yeah, we should read that data, shouldn't we? What do we got? Data 1. Collected cells from the captured animals. Vitality, procreation, adaptability from the DNA samples, all A rank. Started several tests with them. Beta 772 reacted remarkably. These characteristics were found after Beta 772 contacted other animals. 1. Fusion. It takes cells of other animals to evolve. 2. Transplant. It transplants its cells into other animals. Animals that acquire Beta 772 cells behave differently. Beta 772 cells affect even insects and plants. Everything. It also makes them prone to aggressive behavior. Suddenly began to grow right after the earthquake yesterday. Notice that it began self-replication. Cell count increased. It's already over 2 meters. It will become roughly 10 meters in 1 month. That's about the size that we fought it at earlier. Beta 772 rampaged when we tried to move it to a bigger cage. 23 staff members were injured, 6 killed. Yikes. Beta 772 ran into the drain pipe. It must be captured. Based upon the data we have collected, it will contact other creatures in order to breed. I cannot forecast how it will evolve. It is extremely dangerous. You don't say, Chief. I'm gonna have a bad time with this. Oh, I already did have a bad time with it earlier in the game. Wow. Alright. And away we go. The enemy spawns for most of this quest are going to be pretty similar to the ones in Dr. Osto's research.
Also, this guy's got a railgun. His AI is gonna suck, but he is, like, decently armed. So give him some credit, I guess, for the fact that he's actually, like, equipped this time. There's a door over there that is on a switch. So they did update this from the original quest. A reverser disc. That's worth $625 if we sell it. But I'm gonna pass on that. I'm not gonna gunk my inventory with a bunch of crap right now. That'd be silly. And nothing of value in here. I mean, it would sell better than the reverser disc, but that's about it. After I just said that that was a decently valuable drop. Alright, buddy, don't get yourself blowed up. Now this is different. As you can tell, we don't have a hunter to kill in here.
We've just got Gilchicks. Oh, you jerk. That was extremely rude. Perfect formation for the cannon. I was gonna say, did he get him? Not quite. So again, we're not really here after a bunch of treasure or anything. We're just gonna kinda... Yeah, hey Bernie. Yeah, do I look familiar to you, sir? I probably shouldn't. Yeah, those enemies are kind of not useful, as you can tell, as long as we have any source of range damage, because you can just shut them down super easily. Okay, I assume this absorb armor is not going to have enough slots for our needs. Yeah. We're keeping that, though, to sell later. Just want to take a quick look around the area and see that I haven't missed anybody. Because I kind of feel like I have, but I'm not completely confident of that. Actually, hell with it. I'll pull the guide up on the other screen so that way I'm absolutely certain. Oh, hey, a McGee disc. Not really a thing I need in the inventory, but eh. Okay, I'm just making sure that I have the guide all together for this to make sure that I don't screw anything up, because I could have just done something wrong when I tried to do this the first time, but I don't 100% know. Actually, I think we find her in the place where we find that other guy, the mysterious individual from Dr. Osto's research. We'll find out when we get there, though. That's right, Dr. Mome. Meat shield for us. It's not time for feeding yet. It's plain to see that I'm being silly here. Okay, I see where she's at. But let's clean up this room first. Honestly, I could probably just be using regular attacks to deal with those chuckleheads. Jeez, I hope none of that yawn got picked up. I'm sorry. Oh, I gotta sneeze, too. Yeah, what's up? I mean, we've already found a fair amount of information about it, so we're kind of up shit creek without a paddle on that one. But thanks, I guess. Okay, so now the loop continues in the same way as it did when we were in Dr. Osto's before. We have to go around to the next. We have to go around and make the big U shape. Yeah. However, we can at least come in here and turn on the lights. But yeah, now you can see why we had to do that before. There's a purple fence there. Oh. Thank you for being the target for me, Dr. Mome. You're not completely useless. Just really, really close. Oh, buddy, you are nearly dead. You should probably stop meat shielding for me. Good thing you pack a fuck ton of healing items, buddy. The electric fence, and... see what we can do. Check the drain pipe. Subcomputer accessing. Searching pipe structures. All right. Let's go. Yeah, not much to worry about here. You know, the main concern is still the cop. The rest of this quest, I don't even think they give us like any of the really heavy hitters in the mines. We haven't seen one of the enemies here. In fact, I think only one at this point. Oh, hey. A loose mag. I'll pick that up, even though I don't really need to. Again, I can't trade items off of this file, so it's not of any value to anybody, but hey, why not? I'll store it in there with the amplifier that I have. Yeah, the big heavy hitter in the mines is an enemy called a Garand, which is like a floating tank, basically. And as you damage it, it breaks a bunch of its armor plating off, and it's covering up more missile launchers, so it shoots more missiles at you. Which means that it hurts more when you do more damage to it.
Lovely. Also, since the missiles all tend to count as separate hits, you don't get knocked over by its attacks, like, at all. Because it's just doing a shit ton of chip damage to you. So, they're also pretty lethal. Quite a nasty enemy. Genuinely a good design for, like, the area's ace type of mob. Whereas everything else is just kind of, whatever. And frankly, getting even more so when you get into the ultimate variants. Well, they don't change in the caves, but they do change in the forest. The Hildebearer is replaced with variants that have different spells that are just kind of crappy. You know, from a design perspective, they're as simplistic as that, but the Garand's legitimately is just like a really nice enemy design. Ooh, neat. That's some good looking out. I'm glad for that. I am glad for that. But also, that's still like a really absurdly aggressive card, which, that's alright. Hey, level 40. Ding, 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 motherfucker. We could go online and go into very hard right now if we wanted to. I wouldn't want to, because I'd have to unplug the cable out the back of my computer and plug it into my network adapter and get all the information I need to be able to go online with the game onto one of the private servers. And that would just be kind of a pain in the ass. But aside from that, I totally could. So I guess the question with Terminal Offering is, when do we go, Monarchs are back, baby, again? Because goodness knows, I just immediately feel like that's gonna be one of the biggies, is just, oh hey, Monarchs just seems to be a deck that never truly dies. It's gone and come back to life so many times. I mean, again, it's nowhere near as disgusting as, like, Level Eater or something for that, but still. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, right? Yeah, don't I remember that bullshit. That was deeply disgusting. That was kind of terrible. Although saying that, I also remember trying to oh, it removes the ability to link. Well, fair enough. That's a quite reasonable balancing thing, because links are like the thing lately. I'm gonna be honest, I'm surprised that links are actually as disgusting as they are. Because when I looked at them and I looked at the restrictions that were involved, especially because of the pointing and what they did with extra deck monsters at that point, I was just like, you know, these things suck, don't they? And then it turns out, yeah. Free Egyptian God, yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, what I was trying to say is I remember trying to use Chain Summon with that Monarchs deck when I was first playing that way back when I actually played physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Very early on when I was in community college. And yeah, Chain Summon did not work in that. That was a bad idea. That was just kind of a dead draw most of the time.
I couldn't really rely on getting anyone else to let me do that with it. It's an interesting card design and all. It's just... yeah. It didn't do what I wanted it to. Well... oh, it didn't have those already? Well, so... oh boy, that's gonna be fun, because I know that, like, most of the Ishizu cards are super good. And, you know, frankly, I think she deserves it. I think that she deserves to be associated with some of the most busted shit in the game right now. She's earned this. Oh, huh. This is not what I was expecting to be over here. But hey, we got another Kinane layout. With these, you want to try to kill the Kinane as fast as possible. Otherwise, the Canadines will despawn if you kill too many of them before you kill the Kinane. They give a lot less experience in Blue Burst. Or maybe it's just online mode in general, but whatever. I seem to recall them in Blue Burst, like... in PSO1 normal offline on the cube, Canadines give 15 experience, and they continue to give 15 experience when they're attached to a Kinane. But in Blue Burst, I remember them giving 15 experience if they were just rogues, and if they were in the Kinane formation, they were worth like 3 experience instead. Which is a pretty significant reduction, and not necessarily strictly necessary in my opinion. Yes, not necessarily necessary, as I turn into Salt from Chrono Cross. Speaking of Chrono Cross, there was a new patch for the Radical Dreamers edition. It apparently stabilizes the frame rate and stuff. I haven't checked that out yet. I need to. I did reinstall it on my hard drive, so I should probably give it a whack at some point. And yeah, there's Mome just all but spelling out the fact that we're looking for the big worm by pointing out, oh hey, Beta 772 looked like a centipede before. Thanks, dude. It's a good thing I already spoiled that to the rest of the chat, otherwise it wouldn't have been able to pick up on the biggest fucking Cluebat in the entire game. There it is. Mome, keep it pinned for me for a sec. Keep it pinned for me for longer. There we go. That's what we like to see. Alright, another one of these duders. Also, they make some really weird, like, communications noises. Like, there's some vaguely human voices in there, which is kind of creepy. I have no idea what the, like, source of those is, in-universe or otherwise. I don't like to think about that. Alright, so is this... no, we've still got, like... we've got to be near the exit here. I'm pretty sure it's one of the 2 rooms that's attached here. Because obviously not long after he says, oh hey, it kind of looked like a centipede. Preferably not a human centipede, but, you know, maybe some things are beyond what we can hope for. This side? No, this side's chests. Anything cool looking? Nope. So this whole pathway was a distraction. Cool. I feel real silly right now. Oh, but we get more of these. I won't complain about these. More cash. So is it down from here that the entrance to the next area is? Otherwise, we gotta go all the way back in that big wraparound, and that doesn't seem familiar. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Yep, and into the underground channel. Alright, it's time, everybody. I talked it up before. We're gonna fight this boss again. It's the Wormdingler. He's just gonna fake dead for a bit. Well, you know what, dude? I don't know that I would have relied on you to be able to do much for us anyway, so okay, you do what seems like the smartest idea for looking after number one there. Hell yeah, nice, no damage there. Fuck. As I proceed to walk right back into its attack. Shit! Damn it! Get out of the animation lock. There we go. Nice. So we should now be dealing damage to its health meter in 2 areas. Let's re-up our buffs before I forget about them entirely. Aw, you jerk. Okay, so I think it's gonna travel to the right side from here. Yes, okay. And you can see why that's relevant, because, yeah. Or I suppose it can just not matter because it can shoot orbs at us. And that'll knock us over, and we'll just generally be a little bit upset about the whole deal. Oh, that was fast. Hey, another 1 cycle, and this time it wasn't from us abusing the hell out of our Vice Berserk damage. You don't say. That was a weird click noise that I just heard there. I mean, didn't we kill it? Shouldn't this not be a worry? But okay.
You know what? Who am I to question the plot continuity? Somehow these monsters just keep coming back and re-dying and all of that. Just weird and confusing. Alright, do you have anything useful to say? Oh no, you're just dealing with Eleanor still. And this guy's complaining about Dr. Montague being a man-child or something again. I don't know. Do we have anything else to... Okay, so we ripped a chunk off its body. Appears to still be alive, so... I guess that does kind of explain that it seems like it didn't die, it just got the absolute crap kicked out of it. Huh. Alrighty then. Well, I guess it does answer my question in a roundabout way. Not like the one JoJo's Bizarre Adventure ending theme, no. But now that we've completed our task, what do you guys got to say? Anything of interest? Be the only truth on Regal. I actually kind of like that. Yeah, Regal is really fucked up, guys. Ask Dr. Montague to research the cell. He's a loose cannon, but he gets results, right? About the science. Yeah, that was definitely pretty scary, I gotta say. So let's go ahead and do our thing. And I believe that means that we are now done with quests in the mines. Until we defeat the boss there. Yeah, we only have waterfall tiers available to us, so we're gonna do that. But not to disappoint nobody, but we're gonna do it next time. I don't feel like we have enough time to do this today with how deep into the stream we are. So until then, let me make sure that I save and quit so that way I am absolutely certain that I have done it, because it's... You know, I'm still concerned after that last time. Oh, apparently I dropped 25 frames tonight. Huh, that's weird.